People, y'all be crazy. Okay, let's talk about social media. A couple weeks ago, it was crisis around the world. Facebook shut down. It was someone who either hit something wrong or some little thing. It wasn't even something big, but this one little thing shut down Facebook, shut down Instagram, it shut down WhatsApp. People freaked. I think it was something like 8 or 10 hours, and folks just lost their minds. How do I know? Because I woke up, I go on Twitter, and I see all these people talking about Facebook is down, and it was just like mass pandemonium. And I'm thinking, okay, y'all probably need to figure out something else to go do. Because if you're freaking out over a social media site that's gone down, you probably aren't living the best life. I remember, was it last year or 2 years ago when Twitter went down for a while? And you know what? I went and did something else. When Facebook went down, I went and did something else. I popped on the Twitter because every morning it's one of the things I do. I go through the email, I look at Twitter, then I usually go check to see what's online. But because I knew from Twitter that Facebook was down, then I didn't even bother with it. And Instagram, I actually knew something about that, although I didn't really know that it was down totally the way it was. Because one of the things I do at night after I play a little Sudoku, however you say that word, I don't know, is that I will go and do a quick search through Instagram. And sometimes in the morning when I wake up, before I get out of bed, I do the same thing because it's just relaxing. But things wouldn't load. So it's like, well, okay, this is just one of those mornings where I'm getting out of bed earlier. As a matter of fact, on that day, it was still warm in central New York. So I just got dressed and got my phone and I went for a walk at the lake. And it was a wonderful walk. So I probably missed a couple of hours of antsiness that some folks were having because it was down. And I started thinking about that because, there are a lot of people who live their entire lives on social media. And I'm not going to lie. I enjoy being on social media, but I don't spend tons of time on it. I do share things, kind of personal things on social media, but I don't get really deep. I mean, when mom was sick and then when mom passed away, yes, I shared that. But even then, I didn't write a whole lot of stuff. But like last week, I put something on there saying that I was mad because I bought this big bag of peanut butter M&Ms and there were only 4 red M&Ms in the entire pack. And I was irked. Because red is my favorite color. I've talked about that often. Like I said, look at the room. Look at the shirt I'm wearing. Today I was wearing a red hat. And I was just irked. And the other side of that was that there was tons of green. Almost, after I did my version of mixing different colors, breaking it up, because that's what I do, I had like 23 green M&Ms still left, and I was irked. I just threw them away. So I just mentioned it. I didn't, get real deep into it. I just mentioned it, and folks came out of the woodwork to comment. And most of them said, I can't believe you threw away that much chocolate. To which I had to say, actually, peanut butter M&Ms is mainly peanut butter. Just like the peanut M&Ms are mainly peanuts. And, folks say, I can't believe you would do that about a color. Well, I don't own anything green, so why wouldn't I? I'd mentioned that. And then finally someone came out, and this was only yesterday when finally someone came out and said, if that's what you need to do for your peace of mind, then you live your life. Thank you. Thank you. That's actually the point, is that I share stuff like that because in the long run, it doesn't mean anything to my life. It shouldn't mean much to anyone else's life, but sometimes it does. People get interested when you share little goofy things like that. Yet when I share stuff on race or diversity, or every once in a while, a little politics, very rare, but whatever, you hear what do they call it? Crickets singing in 3-part harmony. Although someone told me that that's actually a lot of frogs doing that. I don't know. I'm not going to go check, because if I run into crickets, I'm not going to like it. But I'm going to make some recommendations on how you can kind of reduce your yearn to spend a lot of time on social media. Because you know what, y'all? There's a whole world out there. I'm not even going to pick on the people who spend 3 or 4 hours a day playing video games because, at least it's not on social media until that goes down and then those folks freak. And I know that happens on occasion. So let's look at 4 things you can do. The first thing I'm going to say is that you should basically have a routine for the sites you like to visit, and you should try to give it maybe 10 minutes if you're sitting at a computer. Now, if you're doing like me late at night on the phone, there's nothing else to do. All I'm waiting to do is, make myself a little bit more tired so I can go to sleep. That doesn't count. But I'm talking about during the day. If you're really one of those people who just has to keep checking Instagram or you have to keep checking social media, you need to slow up on that. You need to back off of that. And if it goes down, you need to have something else to do. I mean, one of the things that I've done is I've downloaded a whole bunch of movies onto my tablet. And so if something went down and I couldn't check everything that I, thought about checking every day, then I just go do that. Watch a movie. I sat down the other day and read a book. Read the entire book in 30 minutes because that's what I do. But you got to have something else to do. That's one. Number 2, you have to decide which social media sites are the ones that you think you like more than any others. And then just, go in and not spend as much time everywhere else. Now, truthfully, I've gotten into Instagram. The pictures, the reels, the stories, and the stories, there's a lot of things that you see on their interviews. I really have been fascinated by some of the interviews. I've been fascinated by some of the clips from different movies and TV shows, little short things like that. It's fascinating. Yeah, I mean, you could spend tons of time on that. But I have my time on there, then I'm done, and I go do something else. I'm on Twitter a lot, but mainly because I program articles and different things like my videos that I want to market on there. I want to promote. So I spend the time putting those out. I try to do a lot of that a week in advance. So then I don't have to do that anymore. And every once in a while I have engaging conversations with people all over the country and all over the world. That's fascinating if you ask me. But there are other days where I go in and I pop in just to see if someone has left me a message. And if they have, I will respond to it. And if they haven't, time to go do something else. So, try to find ways to limit yourself for most of the stuff and just stick to the ones that really are bringing you comfort. Number 3 is stop panicking when stuff goes down, because stuff goes down, in your house. Every once in a while the power goes out, and I'm wondering, do you freak all the time when the power goes out? I know, if you have ice storms, I live in central New York. Every once in a while we have ice storms. An ice storm can last 24 to 48 hours. And, okay, I can see you panicking on that. But in our area, since we know that can happen, most of us are kind of prepared for that kind of thing. Me, I have 3 kerosene heaters in the house. I have a gas oven and stove. I have portable lights where I could read if I want to. I still have my tablet and I still have my smartphone. I have portable chargers for those things as well. I'm pretty well covered. The only thing I would probably miss is not being able to use my electric blanket. I love sleeping in my electric blanket. That might be problematic, but you know what? I got tons of comforters and tons of sheets, and if I need to, I'll just pile that on me and we will be fine. But here's the 4th thing about social media. Ask yourself what social media gives you that real life isn't giving you. And then think about maybe seeing if you can find ways in your real life to take some of that off. Like I said, I don't spend tons of time on social media. I have my real reasons for doing certain things. Like, for instance, most of the time when I'm on Facebook, it's to play this game that's called Lexulus, which is a version of Scrabble. So I pop in and play a couple of games like that, and then I'm gone. I already told you what I do on Twitter. I go on LinkedIn because it's a business thing. I want to see, is someone written me? Have people responded to an article that I shared there? Something like that. But then that's about it. Instagram, like I said, it's kind of the weird caveat, and it's mainly at night or sometimes early in the morning. If I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, a lot of times I'm not in the mood to get out of bed. Then I just grab the phone and I will flick through Instagram. And actually, that's probably the time when I spend a lot of time on Twitter also, going through the big feed. You know, I'm connected to around 900 people, and I got more who are following me, but I'm following about 900 people. And I go through the big list for all those people at different times. And mainly, like I said, mainly in the morning when I just think it's too early for me to want to get out of bed. So, you know, look to see what else you have in your life. I mean, one of the things I've been doing lately, which I think I mentioned in the video, either I did over the weekend or last week, is trying to figure out ways to make my house feel like my space. And so I've been doing some moving of furniture. I've been trying to adjust my bedroom so it's more efficient for me. The same with my office. Look, I cleaned it off. And once again, I put that in one of my other videos where I was talking about that. So see, I made a step forward. But see what there is in your life that you want to change. Truthfully, I hate being on the phone, so I'm not on the phone all that much, but I will reach out on the smartphone through the messages. And if I haven't talked to someone in a while, then I'll reach out to them. But I have other things to keep me entertained. I walk a lot. When the weather is bad, I walk in the house. I mean, already today in the house, I've already walked 7 miles, and I have about three and a half hours to go where I'm going to add to that. I'm shooting for 9. It sounds weird, but this is just one of the things I do. So anyway, there's 4 tips. Me telling it, y'all just need to relax a little bit. Social media, don't let it run your life, whether it's active or not. And I'm not talking about your life. I'm talking about social media. If the sites go down, let it go. Find something else to do. There. What's your thought on that? My name is Mitch Mitchell. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of the week.